How's it going, everybody? It's Kai here with Kai Dragon Gardening Cooking, and today we're going to talk to you about planting blueberries. Now, the one thing that we kind of had to do in a pinch was we had to plant these blueberries because they were getting burned up when we bought them from a garden center. So they look a little ravaged right now, but with this guide, we'll show you how you can terraform soil to meet any type of plant standards. You just need to read about what type of soil you need, such as if it needs to be more acidic, needs to be more alkaline. There's a lot of different things that you want to review. And without further ado, we'll jump into the blueberries. The thing with different water types is it can raise or maintain your pH levels. Blueberry specifically needs a 4.5. You can go down to 4, but that's pushing it. But I'd say the sweet spot's 4.5. 5 is okay, but there is kind of a sweet spot for it because certain plants need a more acidic soil to thrive. And for example, they will not thrive in our native soil. As you can see, there's a lot of chunks there, a lot of clay. That's not very good for blueberries. You could till it and use this somewhere else, but we pulled it up from this hole, which we dug about 2-foot radius hole and went down about 2 feet. Probably could have went 3. Also, one thing I will state, call before you dig. Make sure you mark your lines. Over here I know there's no gas or water lines. It's very important that you do that when you're doing something like this, just to protect yourself and your loved ones, and also so you don't have a massive bill trying to fix something if you accidentally hit it. So we have sphagnum peat moss here that has already been soaked with lots of rainwater and wrung it out, and we have our old soil. What I have done here is I have taken the peat moss and good loose parts of this soil from here and mixed it all together with cedar chips. Now here's the next thing with cedar, it slowly deteriorates over time and is more of an acidic pH, so therefore you're maintaining the soil with a little bit of acidity every year. So this will help the roots of the blueberry maintain getting nutrients. If there is not enough acidity to it, your plant will starve and basically die. So the next thing that we like to do is, this is just your typical soil acidifier. I usually get the big blue bags like from Amazon, but mice unfortunately got in the garage and ate it, so this will work. This is at Menards. And berry food. This is a slow release berry food. This is a must, mixed with the acidity. So I'm going to be down in this hole for a minute. It's going to be like layering a cake, and we'll show you just step by step on how I terraform this. So after we've dug the hole, I went ahead and added peat moss, and I also put in a little bit of cedar to kind of create a nice little bed. So when this breaks down, the soil will leach further down, and by then the roots should be strong enough that it can push down a little further. And now this is where we're gonna go into the hole here. So we're gonna take a little bit of soil acidifier, not a lot. I'm gonna put that there, and we're gonna take a little bit of berry food. And we're just going to layer this like a cake. And as we layer it, we'll add another tier of acidifier and food here. And we got another nice layer of acidifier. Slow release, that way we don't have to worry about anything catastrophic. And of course, more berry food. get this right here. Now the thing is, you're going to have extra dirt that you'll have to figure out where you're going to put it or how you're going to use it once you've terraformed this, because it will not go back in here. So everything I've dug out is pretty much gone except for the soil that I mixed in here. And I have mixed pretty vigorously, but you can still see the soil mixed in with the peat moss. So we probably used about this much on the 5-gallon bucket of normal soil, this much of peat moss, and then mixed in cedar in between as I was mixing this really thoroughly. Make sure your peat moss is a little wet, that way it's easier to work. Once you're ready, you think, measure out and kind of see how it's going to be, because this is going to be its permanent new home. Got quite a bit of room around it. So I want to break some of this dirt loose to get the roots. So we're going to put this here for a second, and we're going to layer it a little bit more. The beautiful part about this is you always know now what you put in the soil. So next we're going to start breaking this loose a little bit to encourage new root growth, because it is root bound. You can see all the roots here from the store. So we're just breaking this a little loose. Now the one thing you want to do is don't be too hard on it. Just break it loose just a little bit, like so. All right, there we go. Place this down right here. So next step, we're going to take some soil acidifier, put it around here. And then a solar release berry food right around the root system here. And then finally, we'll finish putting the soil around the blueberry. And if you run out, you got plenty of soil still to incorporate into this, which always makes it nice. So we did not have enough. So good thing is we've got this whole bucket here. And make sure you break the clumps up as best you can.
You might also note that we also are using shade cloth above these plants because this area gets an awful lot of sun. And without the shade cloth, those blueberries and all the other plants seem to burn up.
That's the one thing about blueberries that says full sun. Don't think that it can withstand the summer sun. I had a lot of blueberry plants over the years burn up. I was doing everything right with the soil. Everyone was dumbfounded by it. We have a nasty western sun. In that summer hours, it burnt the leaves up. And so it was just slowly dying. And then one year, we started putting shade cloth over here, and I didn't lose a single blueberry plant. And that's how we discovered one of the rules with this whole full sun thing that they like to tell people is full sun doesn't mean the entire day. It means from morning till about noon at least, then maybe a few hours after. Anything more than that, well, you're likely going to have a dead plant. Unless, of course, it's like a cactus, desert-based. Then, well, it don't really matter. We got the peat moss in here. And then once again, we're going to take just finely shredded, true, organic, no chemical cedar. Throw that in here. And ambitiously mix this up. By the time you get through with it, you should have a good mixture of both the soil and the peat moss and little chunks of cedar. Now the thing you want to do once you've got it in place, you've got the soil all hooked up, you're going to want to do just a little circular trench like this. So we have a nice circle. And then once again, just a light layer. You don't go too crazy with it, just a real light layer of acidifier. And then a handful of food, like so. This way, when you water, it stays down in this hole. And then finally, to top it off, we're going to take mulch. And layer it. And this is to help conserve water and to keep other weeds and other infestations out of your new hole. And then we'll just one more good press down. Make sure She's in. After you've given her a good press in there, you've secured it, put the mulch, she's ready to go. Give it a nice watering to get it adjusted into its home, and then you're good to go. Take a pH detector tool occasionally and check your pH in the soil, or there is lab kits you can get in the stores that you can check your pH by getting a handful of the soil. Highly recommend that. But that concludes our setup on terraforming your garden to fit a specific plant that you want. Thank you. Like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned. We got many more content for you in store. Peace.